Can you
Yeah.
can you describe the feeling when you were told you made the team?
Yeah, it's surreal. Dream come true for sure. God is good, and I'm super appreciative to the Haslams and Coach Stefanski, AB. For them putting their trust and faith in me to be an asset to this team.
Being signed in May, kind of what's the journey been like, over these past few months from being an undrafted free agent to making the 53-man roster?
Yeah, it's been a journey. My journey is my journey, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I've enjoyed every moment of it, and obviously it's easy said. It's a little easier said now that I've made the team. But regardless of the outcome, I showed up every day and tried as hard as I could. So regardless of the outcome, I think I would have been at Baywood. I'd have been cool with it regardless. But like I said, super appreciative to be here and ready to move forward.
Yeah, what's been your favorite part of it?
My teammates. They make it so easy to just wake up and want to play football every day, and so I think that's been my favorite part.
Would you clarify? Did you have other offers to sign as an undrafted free agent, or did you just take the Browns off of when you got it?
Yeah, I didn't have many. It was like 1 or 2 or 3 maybe. It wasn't a lot.
Was there a point in this off-season process that you thought, yeah, I could make this team?
Yeah, the day I showed up, because I know what I'm capable of, and I just, I focus on, being the best version of myself, and being consistent every day. And then when you walk into a building like this, a bunch of hungry dogs, literally, so I fit right in.
And that never wavered?
No.
The veterans got here or anything?
No, I never wavered.
Gage, one of the hardest things to do as a young player is, you mentioned that consistency. We just talked to Coach Stefanski, and he mentioned that every day you're out here making plays. Just how did you pull that off, and how difficult is that to be, a young player and maintain a high level of consistency in this type of an environment?
Yeah, I think consistency is one thing that we can control, and so my whole thing is control what you can control, and then everything else it'll be what it is. But whatever I can control, whatever and there's a few things I can control. The amount of time I study, my effort, my attitude. Those are things that you can control, and that's at the end of the day. That's all I got. And you stress over stuff that you're not in control of, you'll be in a dark place.
What about Isaiah Bond? What kind of an addition has he been to your wide receiver room? What's he bringing?
Yeah, he's been a great addition, man. Anytime you add a player of his caliber, to a room of guys, also a hungry guy ready to prove to the world that, he is who he is. I think, we're all gelling together and we're all moving forward.
So you showed that you obviously belong on this roster. So now what do you need to prove next?
Yeah, I think, just continue to prove to myself, and then give them a reason to keep me around. You know what I mean? And then prove to the other 31 teams that they made a mistake.
How do you make sure? I'm sure there's like a satisfying feeling that comes to at least making the team first, but like you alluded to, like not sort of resting on your laurels from here, understanding that there's still work to be done, and you're still fighting for your spot essentially every day.
Yeah, for sure. When we showed up for rookie minicamp, Coach put on the board, the first thing he said was make the team. The second thing was earn the role, and I think I'm on that second thing, earn the role. Just to be able to go out there and play, and just be a part of the solution around here, and help us get some wins. So.
How's the game slowed down for you?
What's that?
How's the game slowed down for you?
I think the more you prepare, the slower the game can become. So that's what I try to focus on. Preparation. That's the thing I can control, and that's fully in my control. So I try to, prepare as if I'm going to play all 70 offensive snaps, even though it only may be, a little bit.
So did you sweat it out this weekend, or was it pretty relaxed?
No, like I said, man, I would be lying if I said I didn't sweat it out. Everyone, but the truth is, like I said earlier, I showed up every day and tried my hardest, and that's all I can give to you. And so, if that's not enough, if that wasn't enough, then I was cool with it. Just because I know what I can control, I try to control every day. Fortunately, it worked out.
What was the reaction like when you told some of your family that you made the team?
I actually haven't told anyone yet. I'm gonna go back to my phone and let them know. It's kind of weird. I've never actually was told, "Oh, you're on the team." I just showed up today, and they didn't say you're not on. They didn't say you're not on the team. So I guess I'm on the team. So I'll go enjoy it when I get back in.
Sellers?
No, have not heard from anyone. I'm sure he'll reach out for sure.
The plans to celebrate over the long weekend?
Not yet. Like I said, just this is a checkpoint in the journey for me. This isn't enough for me. I'm not satisfied with this at all. I want to be out there, giving my all, just being a good teammate, but I want to be out there.
Yeah. When you think back to your time at Southeastern Louisiana, even back to high school, kind of what's the biggest thing you think you've learned over this time?
Dang, that was deep. The biggest thing there's a few takeaways. Just like I said, control what you can control, and being consistent. It's hard for people to ignore, when you come out here and do the same thing every day, and they're like, dang, is he gonna change? Is he not? So just control what you can control is a huge thing for me.
Dylan is going to be the number 2 quarterback. You've obviously spent a lot of time with him. A 2-minute drive, of course, through that touchdown to you. What have you learned about him kind of through these last few months?
Yeah, great teammate, great person. And then when you go to football, super poised, super confident in himself, which is super important. And I think you alluded to that 2-minute situation. I think it was a great execution by him. And anytime in 2-minute situation, the quarterback is hard enough. But when you're working against the clock too, it's so impressive to just get any points, and for him to go down there and score a touchdown in 2 minutes is super impressive.